You must be at least 18 years of age to listen to the following podcast. I am Robert Black, and you are listening to Sexual Heroes. If you're not already a foot lover, you may think about feet in a whole new way after this episode. My guest is Nick Charms. His journey in adult entertainment started long before OnlyFans, documenting his bliss worshiping big, beautiful souls. Somewhere between a lumberjack son and a furry woodland nymph, Nick has carved a niche as a dominant submissive, reclaiming agency as a servicer who calls the shots. Well within the top 1% of OnlyFans creators, Nick plans to launch his own website, Nick's Lucky Charms, with exclusive content for his fellow foot lovers. Hey, Nick, welcome to Sexual Heroes.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to have you.
Oh, I'm so excited too.
I was not aware of you until, I guess, shortly before I approached you for being on the show.
Yeah.
And you came across my Twitter feed, which is often the case. And I thought, who is this sexy guy? Oh, and feet. The feet caught my attention.
Of course.
Because I don't have a foot fetish myself, but my partner has a foot fetish.
Oh.
My partner of almost 20 years.
So you've had your feet played with for sure.
Every night of my life, I go to sleep with a foot rub.
Oh, isn't that the best?
I can't fall asleep without one now.
Yeah, like that's a perk of being with me. I mean, your feet are always going to feel really nice.
I did massage for a long time, and there were clients that did not want their feet massaged, and I just don't get it. It's the best feeling in the whole world. It's great.
There's so many pressure points and things, and I have the fetish itself, so it's very sexual to me. But I also have done, I guess, research on like which part of the foot controls which part of your body. Like if you have a headache, like I know the parts of the foot to pressure and take that off. And
reflexology.
Yeah. It's a really nice part of the body to make love to.
Well, we're going to get deep into feet today.
Oh my gosh, been there.
All right. Well, let's start with the more obvious question. Why Lucky Charms?
It's just so silly. And I was literally eating Lucky Charms. And I was on Instagram. That's how I started all of this, was on Instagram. And I was on my personal account following all of these foot profiles and realizing that my grandmother, who also follows me, can see all of these foot profiles that I'm following and liking and commenting on. So I decided to make my own account and separate from everything. And it was this like generic LA foot boy, whatever, no pictures, no nothing. And nobody was accepting my friend request. So I was like, fine, I'll just make a foot picture and I'll make my name Nick's Lucky Charms, because I was eating Lucky Charms, which is my all-time favorite cereal. I wish I could show you. I have probably 8 or 9 boxes in my kitchen right now. It's my favorite cereal. So whenever I made that, then, the rest is history, but that was the whole beginning of that.
Simple.
Yeah, I know. It's so silly. And like, I guess that's like my thing is like, it's a little silly. It's a little sexy. It's a little whimsical. It's fun. And
yeah, the promotional photo you sent it says it all.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just like everywhere.
I love it. Okay. So let's go from cereal to pie.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Do you like pie?
I like chocolate pie.
Okay. Oh, really? Chocolate pie?
I love chocolate pie. I don't like any sort of fruit pie.
I like pumpkin pie.
Oh, you know what? I take that back. I do like pumpkin pie. That's a new thing. It's a new thing for me.
Oh, sweet potato pie?
I bet that I would. I've never had it. But I bet I would.
Yeah.
You know what I don't like is the whipped cream that goes on top of like pies. Like you put the.
Oh yeah.
I don't like that.
Cool Whip.
Yeah, Cool Whip. I don't like that.
Okay. Not even on feet?
No, oh no, that's a big no. Like any food on feet
Oh,
is a
I'm glad
big
this
no
came
for
up.
me. This is this does come up for me sometimes. Guys want to pour like chocolate sauce,
Yeah.
or I do not want you to change the way your feet smell at all.
Huh.
That smell of your foot is very special to me,
Hmm.
and it's special to every guy. It's different for every guy.
So if there was a load of cum on somebody's foot,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we're
okay, we're
good.
good to
We're
go.
good.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're going to talk about a different kind of pie, a pie chart.
Oh, okay, yes, yes,
Imagine this is a pie chart of your sexuality.
yeah.
What piece of the pie is going to represent feet? What percentage of that pie?
Hmm. Anywhere between 50 and 60%.
Hmm. I'm asking this because, again, my partner has a foot fetish,
Yeah,
and I didn't ask him this question specifically, but I'm guessing it's way bigger than that. Like it's almost the whole pie.
I have a not so much a problem, but I love dick. Like I
Hmm.
so it's very I could not go like I couldn't give dick just like 30% because it's
Hmm.
more than that.
Okay.
It's
All right.
it's got to be it's either 50-50 because in my videos they are very much split half and half. My all my videos will start with the feet, but they will always end up with me, dick all over everything. So
So I guess your followers then are kind of the same. It's not, as a foot fetish content provider, it's not
mhm.
100% feet.
Oh yeah, I have a butt eating compilation on
Mm.
in one of my. It's like an hour long butt eating compilation. It's just all videos of me eating the butt, and I'm a little bit all over the map. I would say feet are probably 45%. Dick is 45. I love eating butt too. That's got to be bigger than 10.
Okay. I'm going to go back to food just because I posted a video on Twitter. Was it just yesterday or the day before? And I wiped up a load of my own cum with a Twinkie, and then I ate it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
Do,
yeah.
do you like eating food off of other parts of the body, or is it just the feet? You don't want to disturb that whole area.
I don't know. Food never really did like that's. I feel like that's a fetish itself.
Okay, all
Is
right,
definitely doing the food off a body,
okay.
and
It's
that never hit me.
okay. Enough about food. That's
You're
my
gonna make me
thing.
hungry. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to pour a bowl of Lucky Charms here in just a second.
that'd be great. An obvious question is, when did the foot thing start?
I did theater whenever I was growing up and into young adulthood, and a lot of gays around there, obviously. And when I was in high school, I was in West Side Story at the time. I was Bernardo. I don't know if you know the show. You know the show?
Yeah, it's been a long time,
Yeah.
but of course I've seen it. Yeah.
Bernardo's this straight brother of Maria.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very had to stretch those skills very much so whenever I was 14. And one of the other guys that was in the show that I was in high school with, we were in the auditorium just like during a break and talking about just random stuff. And he just suddenly brought up, "Would you smell my feet for me?" And I was like, "Oh my God." And at this point, I had already been thinking about this. And it boggled my mind because I was like, "How do you know I want that? How do you know? How do you know that I want that? Who told you?" I was like, "Sure, yeah, I'll do it." And we were right in the middle of the auditorium, so like anybody could have looked over and seen it. And I did it, and it was amazing.
What did prompt that? I mean,
He definitely had some sort of fetish too.
oh,
He wanted somebody to smell his feet, lick his feet, and
okay, but let's back up.
yeah,
You already knew you were into it. Like
oh yeah.
when did you become aware that you were even attracted to feet? Was it some celebrity on TV? You saw their feet, or was it a family member? Or
Yes, It
Oh, okay.
was.
Hmm.
Yes, it was. I hate to even say it because it's so weird, but I have my dad's brother and uncle. He has huge feet, and they were so big and bulky and chunky, and I just during Thanksgiving he would always put them up like on the recliner and like fall asleep with them up like that, and I would just like stare at them at a
Okay.
young age, just not even thinking anything sexual about them, but just like thinking, wow, like almost like majestic to me. Like, look at those things.
Perfect lead into my next question, or
Yeah.
another question that I had. So what makes a hot foot? You said chunky,
Mm-hmm.
like meaty, like,
Mm-hmm.
because I'll I'll be watching a movie with Ken, and there'll be some hot actor, and I'll go, "Hey, Ken, feet." He's got got his shoes and socks off,
Yeah.
and I'll ask him, "So are those hot feet?" Because I don't know. I don't know a hot foot from an unhot foot, and Ken says it's different for everyone.
It is. For me, I love like a like a chunker, an old meaty boy, and got some meat on it, got some. You could see the muscle tone on it, and I say muscle tone meaning like every foot has some muscle on it, but you could really see like on the soles of the foot, like that's like coming out. And
Mm-hmm.
I love like whenever a foot's just resting and you could see the wrinkles on it. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
There's different parts of the foot that are special too. Like, there's really beefy toes and a beefy heel like that.
What about the skin? Do you like a smooth foot or a calloused one? Because I think it differs for people there too.
Oh yeah. I've had spectrum of smooth to very, very rough. Actually, one of my videos has a guy that has this huge callus right in the center of his foot, like right on the ball of his
Mm-hmm.
foot. And I loved it. It was, it's a very manly, masculine quality. And I love it. I'm very adjective prone. So I love like meaty, beefy, thick, like I love being able to like really describe your foot, especially whenever I'm worshiping it. Like I love telling you things that I love about it. One of my favorite qualities of a foot, and this doesn't come around very often, is when I'm playing with it or when I'm rubbing it or sucking on it, it gets stimulated and it's actually getting sweaty while I'm doing what I'm doing to it. Oh my goodness. So it's like responding to what I'm doing and it's very, very hot, very hot. That's something I love.
I need to think about feet more.
I think everybody should, like it gets a bad rap and I get so many messages from guys saying how like not humiliated they are, but just how like embarrassed they could be sometimes and how they don't know how to bring it up to people.
Wow, that was my next question. I can't believe the question was this ever a source of embarrassment for you?
Never, not for me. It never was. I don't know if I'm wired differently or if it's just me, or maybe it's, I don't remember a time where it ever was. But I mean, I remember coming out and just telling people right off the bat when I was very young, like, hey, I love feet. Would you mind if I like smelled your feet and like licked your feet? And I found that whenever it's brought up like that, that guys are like, sure. Whenever it's brought up with such confidence and like, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do. You don't have to do it, but this is just what I want. And I found that that's found with such acceptance,
Right. The
because it's
confidence.
just, yeah, because it's like, okay, if you seem like you know what you're going to do, so go ahead.
That's why you're on Sexual Heroes today. See,
Yeah.
it's seriously. You call yourself a dominant submissive.
Yeah.
Explain that.
The submissive part is definitely the service orientation of me. I'm very service oriented. I love to service. That's how I get off. That's how I have sex, is like off camera. I am servicing. And that very much transfers to my videos. But with the dominant side of it, I love, like, you know what I would love, but I wouldn't. I would love to tie someone up and just like sit them back and just say, like, now let me do this to your body. Let me just have this time with your body. But I don't really like the tied up stuff, because I like you to like, get in there too. But if I could just have that guy sit back, kick back, and just feel like a king for 2 or 3 hours while I just feast on your body and just worship your body, I think that's where the dominant side is, because I'm going to tell you where I'm going to go. I'm going to tell you where my mouth is going to go, and you're going to like it.
Yeah, I get it. And you love sucking dick.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm sure you love when somebody kicks back and you can blow them and just do your thing. Have your way with their dick, basically.
My record's 9.5 hours, unstopped, no break.
Sucking a dick?
Sucking a dick.
One dick?
One.
Wow. Sexual hero.
No drugs. And no drug. Anytime I tell someone that, they're like, what drugs were you on? I'm like, no drugs. little poppers here and there. And
wow.
I really black out at times and just really zone out. I get into a very, very happy place. And it's very euphoric to me to be on my knees between someone's legs. And I was on my knees that whole time. And it's just very happy for me. That's my happy place.
I totally get the dominant submissive thing, because one way I love to have sex is tying somebody up and using their body. Like, that's my favorite way. If I'm going to top somebody, I want them tied up. Yeah. And then I'll penetrate however I want. Or I'll, sit on their dick, or I love that.
One of my favorite things to hear from a guy is, have fun, do what you need to do. Do your job, do your work. I'm just going to sit back. And oh my goodness, that's like a trigger. That's like turn Nick on. Just say, have fun, go to town.
I remember that.
Yeah, you can. You have power now. Now be careful with it. You have power. You know all this stuff about me.
Well, and lots of other listeners.
Yeah.
Priests, Santa Claus, lots of imagery in your content.
Yeah.
What's the response from your followers? Obviously, they must like it.
Oh yeah. You know what? I think a lot of my followers and subscribers, I get so many messages, and they're so sweet. I love hearing from everybody, but the biggest thing that I hear, or the thing that I hear most often, is, I love watching you have so much fun. You look like you are just having the time of your life, and the things that you make are so fun. And when I'm watching porn, I think I told you this too. When I first started this, I wanted to make the porn that I wasn't seeing, or that I wanted to see, that I wanted to watch. And a lot of that is storyline stuff and fantastical, whimsical. It's things that you always think about, or like have thought about in the back of your mind. And I want to bring them to life. That's a big thing for me. So Santa Claus, Fred Flintstone, the Fred Flintstone thing. There's a big thing in the foot community is Fred Flintstone feet. And
I was going to say that earlier. I cannot believe when you're talking about chunky, your uncle's chunky feet. I was going to say, Fred Flintstone feet.
Exactly.
Because my partner doesn't really like Fred Flintstone feet. So
that is when someone says, oh, you're not going to like my feet. I have Fred Flintstone feet. I'm getting on my shoes. I'm asking for the address. I have my keys. I'm out the door. I'm in the car. Tell me where you are. Tell me where those feet are. I love Fred Flintstone feet, like the chunky, meaty, flat-footed, big, thick soles. So I obviously had to make a video with Fred Flintstone, and I found the perfect guy to do it. And it was so funny. I was I met up with this guy, and we were just having fun doing my thing to his feet. And he said, you're the first guy to do this. I usually get told I had Fred Flintstone feet. And I was like, oh my God, I love when guys say that. And he was like, really? I played Fred Flintstone for Halloween once. And I was like, oh my God, do you still have the costume? And he was like, I do. And I was like, oh, can you?
Awesome.
Can
That's
you please
great.
put it back on? So he showed up, and it was perfect. He was perfect. I get told all the time that people love that video. And it's so much fun to see him have a good time and see me have the just time of my life with Fred Flintstone. But I have so many like that. Fred, and Santa Claus is another one that I love, and that comes around every Christmas.
How does baiting fit into your world?
I have been told before that I am a baiter, and when it boils down, I'm a baiter that just has oral, tendencies. Because when I'm at a pair of feet, I'm baiting that whole time, and I'm like gooning out and drooling, and I'm using poppers, and I'm just baiting my dick, and there just happens to be like feet in front of me, and sometimes I'm not even physically connected to that feet. I might even just be staring at them or just sniffing them. Like there's a couple guys who are only into getting their feet sniffed by me, and those guys are so hot. And that's really where like I'm definitely like a baiter, because I am just beating my dick and getting off to these feet.
The feet are your poppers, basically.
Oh, for sure. There's some guy. There's a couple gentlemen that, I mean, just rolling through the Rolodex in my head, that their feet are, the smell of their feet are poppers for me. Something happens in my head, and that's what happens. Like I'm definitely a baiter. You've recorded with somebody that I have filmed with before that is a baiter, and he actually told me that I'm a baiter when it goes down to the bare bones of everything. You're a baiter with just tendencies of like an oral sub. And it's so true. Like I am very much into, like, if I say this to people too, and this might be like not a good thing to hear, but if nobody touched my penis again, I would be like, okay, that's fine.
My head's going to explode. That's totally me.
Yeah. Like if somebody said like, if somebody said, hey, nobody is ever going to touch your penis again, but you feel free to touch it and get off however you need to. But cool. Whatever.
Wow.
Fine.
Yeah. Oh my God. Totally. That's me.
Sure. Like that's fine. I don't need my dick sucked. I don't even really need to fuck. But I love doing all of that, but I don't need to do that.
And one of the reasons I could do porn for so many years is really, when it comes right down to it, it's the money shot is always about masturbation, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They don't want you coming inside someone's hole or someone's mouth because they want to see it. So you really, when you need to be most turned on is when you're jerking off, because they want to see that and the money shot. So,
and at the end of almost every one of my videos, it's me jerking off onto someone's feet, and then I come all over them and I lick the load off.
There you go.
Almost every one of the videos. 98% of my videos end that way. So there's baiting in every single one of my videos. So I'm a little baiter. It's a very fun part of my sexuality to explore too. I love exploring my baiter side, for sure.
I'm going to back up for a second. We talked about the dominant submissive. Can you, for listeners who aren't into feet, can you explain the top bottom thing in foot play?
Yeah. Well, I would say the top in a foot situation would be the guy that's getting worshipped. And the term worship, I use that, and as a foot fetish, we use that as a term of like service. We're going to service your feet. We're going to worship your feet. And that could go to anything: rubbing your feet, massaging your feet, sniffing them, licking them, sucking them, um, the whole spectrum of service is how you worship the feet. So the top would definitely be person that's getting worship, and then the bottom in the situation would be me. That would be me. I would be the bottom in that situation, which is funny because if we're having sex, I'm a top. So it's going to be me fucking somebody, and which also gets into the dominant submissive thing. And I love taking those big guys and just turning them over and giving them. There's a guy, Master Luca. I don't know if you know him. He's here in LA, and he's a big guy, real big, stocky, muscly guy, big old dick, big feet, big 13, 14 feet. And he just loves to like submit to me. Like he knows that's what I want, and he just can do it. And he does it so well. And he still maintains that his name's Master Luca, and he still maintains that master mentality. You know what? For me, I love to make that man feel so good in front of me. And if I could do it with my dick too, like that's incredible. Like I love to know that. I love to know that like my dick is making this man feel so good too. So for me, when I'm fucking a guy like that, it's about that other guy too. Like I'm not going to come until they're like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. And then I'll come immediately as soon.
The more I interview people, the more I tend to see the lines blurring around dominance and submission.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. I have never experienced the I guess enlightenment of this, what we're talking about right now, until I started doing the recording part of this. And I was always recording stuff. I was always saying like, sucking someone's dick and then saying, can you hold my phone like up here while could you just get this for a little bit? And that was, I mean, since I was like, 18, 19 years old, and doing like just like little stuff, little 2-minute videos with my phone, but seeing how the lines are actually blurred through it. And I mean, I'm such a blurred line. Like I'm not a bottom, but I'm submissive, and I love to service. I don't really like to be serviced. Like that's a big thing for me. I know like I get that questions asked all the time. Like, can I service you? And that wouldn't do a thing for me. It wouldn't do a thing.
I mean, if you got a massage, you'd like a foot rub, right?
Oh yes, yes, yes. Massage. I think massage is a little different. But like to have somebody do what I do to me, I don't know if I could like sit there. Like there's some guys who come while I'm doing it. There's guys that like literally come while I'm worshiping their feet, and it's crazy. Like that's so hot. So hot.
And are they stroking? Are they jerking off? Or?
Sometimes not. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I have a video where the guy is just sitting back, and he's like and you could see him like writhing in pleasure, and he just comes. I could do this thing. I think one of my signatures, I guess, is I take that whole foot and I get it into my mouth, and I could, deep throat the whole foot. And that really does something to guys. So if you're listening out there, practice your jaw, because that really does something. I don't know. I mean, I've had it done to me, and I know it feels so good. It feels so good. Have you ever had that done?
No.
Okay, I could be there in like 2 hours, and I will just getting that whole foot in your mouth is like something else.
Yeah, I mean, guys who can swallow a dick, that's nothing.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of success as Nick Charms and your foot fetish. In your email to me, you mentioned that you're looking into getting your own platform for your content. And this is another interesting thing that keeps coming up. I've been here since time began. And when I started porn, there was just the studio porn.
Yeah, right.
And guys would have their own website.
Mm-hmm.
I had a website, didn't really have content on it. It was just kind of your billboard, your business
Right.
card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all this content creator stuff, OnlyFans and Just for Fans. Then everybody, started putting out their own content, and the
Right.
studios were really affected by that. And all the free stuff available, just exhibitionists like
Yeah.
me putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
So it really changed porn a lot. Then the websites went away. The performers, you don't see a lot of really performer websites. Their website is their OnlyFans account or their Just for Fans account and their Twitter account.
Right.
But now, more recently, I'm seeing again performers starting to launch their own platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And putting their content on there and saying goodbye to OnlyFans and Just for Fans, or having both. But definitely, I'm seeing a resurgence in people having their own platforms.
Yeah.
So why is that something that you want to do? What's the benefit for you?
The benefit for me is definitely not having to answer to anybody, because I'm on OnlyFans, and I'm sure that you heard a couple months ago the news that they were going to take it away, and then they realized that was a huge mistake, and then they put it back.
Well, since we're on that, let's talk about that for just a second. Mm-hmm. What I don't get is, didn't they know? I mean, they know what percentage of their accounts are XXX material, so they knew they were going to lose all that. So it couldn't have been a surprise to them.
You know what I took it as, and this is just me. I don't want anybody to think oh God, Nick said this, let's all get out. But I think that was kind of a warning to say, look how quick we could get rid of all of you. We're not going to do it right now, but look how quick that we could. So start to get out.
And even if OnlyFans wasn't thinking that when they did it, I sure hope performers are taking notice and saying, oh, shit.
Get a backup plan, get a plan B, get a plan C, get a plan D. I have all of my stuff on Just for Fans. Mm-hmm. It's not launched. I'm not on there. But if OnlyFans would have bit the big one, I wasn't even a little bit panicked, because I have Just for Fans ready, and I have my website ready. I have nicksluckycharms.com is ready to go at any moment. So I'm going to probably launch that by the beginning of next year, which is going to be really cool.
Nick, before you go, I just want to invite my partner in to say hi, to meet his sexual hero, fantasy
oh my gosh.
man.
Please, okay. His name's Ken, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, okay. I would love to meet him.
Ken. Okay, I'm going to have Ken sit here, and he is going to say just a quick hi.
Yeah. Hi, Ken.
Hi, how you doing, Nick?
Look at your muscles. My goodness.
Oh, well, look at him. So
both of you are so sexy.
Thank you so much. You were one of my first introductions to Tumblr, and that's what kept me on that site. So yeah, you and Dirty Socks. So I think I've seen you two together too. Which was like, so
isn't he so special? Isn't that just such a special man?
And he's been doing this a long time. He's one of my first videos that I saw a long time ago. I was like, wow, who is this guy?
2007, I believe. So he's since retired from doing everything, but he was in it from 2007 to 2020, which is, isn't that crazy?
That's a great career, because I have a picture of him when he was just like a baby.
When he's super young. Those pictures are all over Tumblr and things like that too. You could see the really past pictures of him, but those feet. Robert told me that you have a big foot fetish too.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
So his feet are really perfect, right? Like those things are really something else.
I see. I like yours. I really love.
Really? Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh. You have the best soles.
Oh my gosh, me.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Oh.
love those things. Love those things.
Thank you. I wish that I could do like what Dirty Socks does and just sit back and like be like a foot dom and get serviced, but I'm very much the servicer. Like that's where my mind is, and it's tough for me to do that.
Oh, see, now I like to take the dom and make him into a sub, as I'm not servicing, I'm enjoying. I am taking to have Thanksgiving dinner. Thank you very much. So I'm really into that. I get a lot of hits that people want to service my feet, especially big, like leather daddies and stuff. They're like, oh, please let me. And I'm like, good for you. You know, it's cool. It's a shame that so many people are closeted about it.
Yeah.
I was until I was probably 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Thought it was something bad.
We should have
shameful.
met. We should have met long ago. I would have told you.
All right, I'm going to give you back to Robert because I'm hijacking his time with you.
Oh, no problem. It was so nice to meet you.
Oh, terrific! Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I hope I'll get to meet you someday in person.
I hope so too. That would be fantastic.
Nick, thank you very much for being on Sexual Heroes today. I cannot wait to launch this episode. People are going to love it.
Thank you so much. I was so excited to do this. I love talking about anything sexual, anything fetish based. I love just getting different insight and talking about, my experience with it too. Is just very special. So thank you so much for giving me that opportunity to talk about it. Thank you.
For information with links about a guest on Sexual Heroes, visit the show notes. And please be sure to follow me on Twitter @RobertBlackXXX. Thanks for listening.